For question 1 in part B, we have these marks here from semester 2 in 2016 for QM1, the percentage marks for each of the students on their assignments and on their final exam. And what we're going to do is to just work out a range of statistics for each of those, mean, median, standard deviation and so on, the ones listed in the question. So let's go through and start doing those. We'll do the mean first. And we'll do the mean for both the assignments and for the exam. Okay. So we've done this before, right? So the command for working out a mean is to do the average. We're not going to do average if, we're just going to do average. And we're going to select this range here. So starting there, so I'm going to start that again. So if we go to average and then go across and select that, including any others along the way, and then shift, command or control down arrow, takes us down to the bottom of the worksheet. So we have a total of 664 columns in rows in this worksheet, so 663 students. Close the brackets and we're done. So there is the average mark on the assignments. We're going to want to do this, well actually let's do a few of these first. So for the median now, we could, a neat thing to do might be just to copy this formula down to here. Now, this hasn't worked for two reasons. One, obviously it's an average, we need to change that to median, but notice again we have this issue when we're copying formulae, we need to fix the numbers of these rows. Alright, so let's do this again. First of all, let's fix the range of our assignment marks to be starting in row 2 and going down to row 664, always. Okay, no matter where we copy this formula to, elsewhere in the spreadsheet, the 2 and the 664 will be held fixed by doing that. Now we can pick up that and shift it down 1, and we no longer have to worry about the range of the data. We simply enter in the formula that we want, such as median, which ends up looking like that. Alright, what else do we need? We need the standard deviation. So the standard deviation, we can just pull the same trick. We're going to call this stdev.s, the standard deviation taken from the sample, 15.6. And then we can work out what's next. We have the first, second and third quartiles. Okay, so let's get those. We'll go Q1. Let's copy this down to here, and the command for this is quartile. Easy to remember, quartile. And which one do we want? We want the first one. So we enter the range, and then we need an additional argument here, which is comma 1. Okay. And that will hit enter, and that will give us the first quartile. So this is the number. So 25% of the students scored marks on their assignments that were less than 77.2. Alright, continuing on, that's quartile 1. Quartile 2 is going to be essentially the same formula, so we can just copy that down again, but we just need to change this 1 to a 2. And we've now got the second quartile there, and Q3, same thing, we'll copy that down and we'll call that the third quartile. So there we go. So 75% of the students got marks below 87.7. 25% got marks above 87.7 on the assignments. Alright, interquartile range is the distance between the third quartile and the first quartile. So that's just a formula. We'll go equals the third quartile minus the, I'm just using the arrow keys, the first quartile. Okay, so that gives us the interquartile range, 10.5. Now we want the minimum and the maximum. So the minimum mark be found. Now we can just type in equals min, or to save ourselves specifying the range again, we can just copy one of these down and we'll change the formula from standard deviation to minimum. And it gives us 0. There were some people got 0 for their assignments. Maximum, same thing. We'll copy this down again and we'll change the function to maximum. And finally the 90th and the 95th percentiles. Alright, so let's say the 90, we can kind of abbreviate this if you like, the 90 percentile, like that, 90th percentile. And the formula for this, well, let's just copy one of these down here like that to get our range. The formula, instead of max, is going to be percentile.exc is the one that we're using. And we have the range, and then which percentile do we want? The percentiles in Excel are actually expressed as fractions between 0 and 1 rather than numbers between 0 and 100 as you might expect. So if we want the 90th percentile, that would be 0.9 for the 90th percentile, okay, which is 90.8%. And if we also want the 95th percentile, then we just do exactly the same thing and copy that down to there, and we'll change the percentile to the 95th. Notice as we've transferred all of these formulae down further and further down this column here, this range of data has been kept fixed as we would like it to be. Okay, so, and we're done. Alright, those are all the statistics that are required for the assignment marks. Now we want to do the same for the exam marks. So we could go through and do all of that we just did again, but wouldn't it be nice if we could just grab all of these calculations that we just did and transfer them over to the next column? Well, in fact, that's exactly what we can do. So if we copy this formula, for instance, for the mean, and put it over here, notice in this formula we did not lock the A. So if we take this formula and copy it across one column, then this A is going to also be shifted across one column onto the exam column. So if we take this formula and shift it across to here, it will automatically update the A to the B and give us the average or the mean exam mark. And that will be the same with all of these formulae. So all that we need to do is to select all of those formulae, Command C, Control C to copy them, and we're going to put them here, and we'll go paste, and there we have all of those statistics reproduced for the exam marks as well. So if you have a look in that formula, see it's updated it to the B in all of these ranges automatically, because we did not have the $sign here when we typed in this formula. If we put a $sign on that A and then copied it across, it would have stayed an A. Okay, so sometimes when you're entering these formulae, you want to fix the rows and the columns, and other times it's actually very helpful to you not to fix, either the row or the column, because it allows you to copy around these formulae and update in neat ways like that.